We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Good evening, everybody. Vikings Uncensored back after a 1-week hiatus to bring you episode 67 this week.
You look like you just came from Hawaii.
Well, hey, this was sitting down at the campground, scrolling through Amazon drunk purchase. I paid $12 for this thing.
There's real evidence knocking back more than a drink or two can lead to shopping online while under the influence.
My roommates and I in college used to get drunk and go on Amazon, which was super fun.
What?
Fucking.
It's pretty fucking
man,
sweet. It's got the whole. It's got the Vikings colors and everything in it. I couldn't turn it down.
You should have bought a lei to go with it, man.
Yeah. Those weren't on sale, so.
Oh. Oh, funny.
Yeah. I do my best Chris Gates impersonation this week.
That's a nice looking shirt, though.
Yeah, his is pretty sweet. I mean, his is actually a Vikings one, so I got the cheap knockoff one, but I thought it looked cool, so what the hell.
It's pretty.
I'm at the age where I really don't care if people don't like it, so.
Hey, rock on, man. Hell yeah. Let's do this shit this week.
All right, let's kick into this. We got a few news items, not much Vikings related, but a few NFL items that we thought we'd throw out just for the sake of doing so. Then we kind of got another History 101 type deal coming up here later.
Something along those lines.
Something along those lines where I throw out a top 5 list this week.
It's something. It's something.
We got something. We'll bring in something, but then, of course, Mr. Brunswick will have his Brunswick best later on in the show and a few other things that we throw in as we go along. So let's kick it off with the news here. First, I guess, major NFL news item this week. Baker Mayfield finally traded to the Carolina Panthers for a conditional 5th-round pick that could go up to a 4th-round pick.
Yeah, if it was Rick making the deal and we were going after Baker, he'd be like, I'll give you 2 second-round picks and a 3rd for Baker.
Well, and then I saw here, was it Monday or Tuesday, that the genius coach in Carolina there, Mr. Matt Rule, had said they are not going to trade Sam Darnold. They're going to have an open competition between all 3 quarterbacks for the starting role.
Yeah, throw it back to the 90s where one quarterback takes the first half and the second guy takes the next half.
Yeah, it'll be like preseason, the entire regular season. They'll rotate quarterbacks.
Quarterback by committee, man.
Yeah,
never worked. Never works.
Nope. But anyway, I guess we'll see how that plays out in the dumpster fire that is Carolina.
Kind of like how Gus Frerotte got his job in Washington years way back.
Yeah. Then another one kind of big for the NFL, I guess, at least from a perception standpoint. Condoleezza Rice, former U.S. Secretary of State, is joining the Denver Bronco ownership group, along with the Walton family and a few others that have put together their bid to buy. So now I know she's a huge huge football fan. She was even in talks at one point in time to be a potential commissioner of the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Back, in kind of before Goodell, or at one point in time when it was talked that Goodell might not keep going at it or whatever it was. But so I mean, it's an ownership group. It's really irrelevant for the most part, but
Right.
figured we'd bring it up.
Yeah.
Here's one that, from what I've seen on social media this week, has pissed off the entire city and fan base of Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium, formerly known as Heinz Field,
Wow.
is now Acusure.
Oh my God. Three Rivers, man.
Well, it hasn't been Three Rivers since they tore Three Rivers down and then built Heinz
Field right
Heinz
there.
Field,
Yeah.
and now it's Acrisure Stadium. So
Lame.
Gay!
Lame, Pittsburgh. It's really lame.
money talks, and
Acusure. Are you sure you want to name your stadium that? Oh.
they're Acrisure. They're going to. Then in the police blotter type news, Saints running back Alvin Kamara has been informed that he is likely looking at a 2-year suspension stemming for that battery charge that he got himself into during the Pro Bowl in Las Vegas.
I can't believe he played in the Pro Bowl that day. How silly does that make the league look? Honestly.
I'm not 100% sure that they knew about it, or by that time it was too late to do anything about it. I'm not sticking up for the league here on any of that stuff. I just don't know, but
yeah,
it was a messed up situation.
It's okay. Sometimes we got to sound things out around here.
Yes. Yeah, you're no one to be giving me shit about being mispronouncing anything. Loader milk.
Yeah. Continuing.
Moving on.
Fucking douchebag Carmera.
Yeah. So, he's eligible to come back in 2 years. In 2 years, he's going to be into his 30s. I'm not sure
who wants a 30-plus-year-old running back anymore?
I'm not sure who or how old he is right now off the top of my head, but
he'll be
really matters,
back as soon as Ray Rice is back.
Yeah.
Maybe him and Ray Rice could box each other after Adrian.
In the undercard after, with Adrian and Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell said he is not planning on playing in the NFL this year. He's going to focus on his boxing career. Yeah, you're not going to play in the NFL because you've sucked ass for the last 3 years and nobody wants to pick you up. But
Dalvin Cook is
that's not
the running back Alvin Kamara will ever be, and Kamara just proved that this past offseason.
Yeah, talent-wise, Kamara is a good running back. I'm not going to. He's
a
very good running back. I'm not going to doubt that. But
I'd still take Cook over him any day.
Yeah. Sean Payton and his forcing 6 rushing touchdowns against us can go pound sand, but that's neither here nor there. And Sean Payton is neither here nor there either. So anyway, moving on from the Saint crap. Here's a kind of the talk of the town, we'll put it this way, been for the last few days. New York Jets quarterback Zach Wilson, his longtime girlfriend, has broken up with him because she found out that he was banging his mom's best friend. Which, if it's true, this would be the first time the Jets have scored over 40 since 2018. We have a Stifler's mom situation going on here, I guess, with the New York Jets, but.
So, would you object if I said that you were quite striking?
Mr. Finch, are you trying to seduce me?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
You're dead.
Hey, good for him.
I could not believe it when I seen that, man. Apparently she's really hot though.
I saw a picture. Yeah, she's definitely in that meow meow status. So
I'm not even gonna go there. Not in this day and age.
his best friend's mom's got it going on, or whatever it is. His mom's best friend, but then whatever. Anyway, good for you, Zachy.
She's all I want, and I've waited for so long.
Brown chicken, brown cow. All right, we'll move on before the FCC shuts us down here.
Nice.
Now on to the, I guess, the one bit of Vikings news that we have so far. The Hall of Fame.
Time.
Yeah. We're getting to it.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We got sidetracked talking about
All sorts of shit.
Zach Stifler, or but
Zach Stifler.
well, actually, it was Stifler's mom, not Stifler.
Right. Finch. Shitbreak.
Anyway, the Hall of Fame selection committee has came out with their list of 25 semifinalists for the senior committee, or in the senior section for the Pro Football Hall of Fame for class of 2023. And of course, this year they are able to induct up to 3, which puts them in a prime position to right one of the greatest wrongs in the history of the NFL, in my opinion. Jim Marshall is one of the 25. Again, for those of you who don't know Jim Marshall's numbers, 282 consecutive games played as a defensive lineman.
True Iron Man of the game.
Yeah. I mean, the man never got hurt.
Purple through and through. Absolutely. I mean, he's the only, well, we're getting there. He's the only number 70 to ever play for the Vikings. Ever.
Yep.
Ever. Nobody else wore that number in the Vikings. Ever.
Right. But we'll save that for
Ever
episodes.
right
Yeah, I know. We'll save that for episode 70 so you have something to talk about then.
Not ever.
Never, ever.
Just one.
But anyway, beyond the 282 consecutive games, he has, and sacks weren't an official stat for the NFL until 1982, but Pro Football Reference went back and figured it out. He had 130 and a half sacks on his career, which was only 3 behind his running mate on the defensive line and the Purple People Eaters, Carl Eller, who had 133 and a half. He was named a second team All-Pro 9 times.
Wow.
Only made it to 2 Pro Bowls, but Pro Bowl doesn't tell the whole story. On
All
anything.
pros, man. That's where it's at. That's your bread and butter right there. That's the pudding.
Yeah, but the field will be narrowed to 12 finalists on July 27th, and then the inductees will be chosen on August 17th.
Come on, let's get him in there.
Now, as we mentioned once before about using this show as a platform to help get Jim Marshall into the Hall of Fame, if you look up at your screen here right now, this is the list of the voting members for the Hall of Fame Senior Committee. And I have their Twitter handles on all this stuff. So we encourage you guys to send these guys messages on Twitter urging them to vote Jim Marshall into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the class of 2023.
Get him in. He belongs in there. This is long overdue.
It absolutely
Jim
is.
Marshall in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. So, like I said, I haven't done it yet. I plan on doing it here, getting a hold of these guys. We encourage all you guys to do the same thing. moving on, just a reminder to everybody about our contest that we have going on. We're getting closer and closer all the time to that magic 400 number. When we hit 400 subscribers, if you have subscribed to the channel and in the most common or most current video, just comment down below that I subscribed, gets you entered to win a $100 gift card to NFLshop.com. So we're hoping, we'd love to have this thing given away before training camp starts in a couple of weeks. So make sure you get out, subscribe to the channel, and tell everybody else that you know to subscribe. And we want to give away $100 here. So
right, comment in the latest Vikings Uncensored video on YouTube that you are subscribed.
Yep,
you're entered.
All right, we're going to roll into the another Vikings History 101 segment.
History 101-ish.
Yeah, History-ish 101. Mixed in with a little bit of a Rhino's top 5 list.
There we go.
And I'm going to give you my top 5 offensive performances in team history.
Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, so
a lot.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
All right, so we'll start with number 5.
3-yard field goal tied it up for the 49ers. That's how we stand. Wilson to the sideline, complete to Anthony Carter. Crowd thought he was out of bounds. The officials say otherwise, and it'll be first down at the 19. Boy, when you're hot, you're hot. Carter, he's got it. Out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Wilson deep. Complete down to the 10-yard line. Anthony Carter. Perfect pass from Wade Wilson to Anthony Carter. 10 catches, 227 yards for Anthony Carter today.
January 9th, 1988. Won Anthony Carter versus the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC divisional round playoff game. Carter had 10 receptions for 227 yards, throwing in a rush for another 30 yards and 2 punt returns for 21 yards as the Vikings knocked off the heavily favored San Francisco 49ers a week after knocking off the heavily favored Saints in the wild card round.
AC was on fire that day.
Mm-hmm. And he had a good game against the Saints the previous week too. So he was.
Yeah, he had a good performance in that set of playoffs for sure.
Mm-hmm. And side note on that, that's also the last time that the Vikings have won more than one playoff game in a single season. So.
Oh, you're gonna stir some people up saying that, man.
Well, I don't care.
I know it's facts.
Yeah, if we don't like
facts.
If we don't like that fact, then we need to change it. So
it can't be true. It can't be.
So O'Connell, we need to win at least 2 this year to get caught back up on that. All right, moving on. Number 4.
Robert Smith is back from Minnesota, and he is throwing it back to Cunningham, the old flea picker, and open is Randy Moss, and in the end zone is a Minnesota touchdown.
Yep, you know they were going to do it. The fans knew they were going to do it. The Dallas Cowboys knew they were going to do it. You knew they were going to do it early, where Randall Cunningham just gets that ball, and he just chucks it deep to Randy Moss.
Cunningham changing something.
Palmer gives a lot of big plays to this Viking team.
Here's Cunningham back to throw it and going deep, and he's got Moss, and there's a flag on the play, and Moss has caught the pass and is in the end zone anyway. touchdown. Just throw it as far as you can.
This guy is amazing. Randy Moss is amazing. Randall Cunningham is amazing. That Randall Cunningham was telling us last week that Moss just tells him, hey, dog, just chunk it in the end zone. And he said he always tells him, just chunk it in the end zone. And that's exactly what he does.
It's Cowboys showing blitz. Minnesota hits Randy Moss, breaks a tackle, and Randy Moss races down the sideline, and Randy Moss just outruns everybody into the end zone. He is incredible. I think he might be enjoying some turkey.
We have a game on November 26th, 1998. It was a Thanksgiving Day where one rookie wide receiver, Randy Moss, had his national coming out party.
Beautiful, beautiful game for Mr. Moss.
Now we think about, when you think about his stats and everything, oh yeah, he had 7-8 catches, whatever. No, he had 3 catches. But those 3 catches totaled 163 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Right. My favorite touchdown on the day was the dump off to the sideline, and he takes it down the sideline. Oh man, it's beautiful.
That was.
Yeah, all 3 were beautiful. Honestly, the one at the back of the end zone, back corner of the end zone, like tiptoed. Oh man, and he's a rookie doing this shit. I love me some Randy Moss. My favorite Viking of all time. God, I love me some Randy.
I can't argue that. I mean, he was a hell of a player. But yeah, 3 catches, 51, 56, and 56. All 3 for touchdowns.
Hell of a player, man. There's been 2 players in Vikings history that made me feel like I was riding a roller coaster, man, when they would make a play. And then one of them was Randy Moss, and the other was Adrian Peterson. As far as offensive playmakers, Percy Harvin was pretty damn good too. I'm kind of running off track here, but Randy, man, when he would make a play, it felt like it was amazing every single time. You just didn't know what was going to happen when the ball hit his hands.
And half the time it just looked so effortless, it was just.
I know. Just like, touchdown.
Or they would just randomly catch the ball and toss it back over his shoulder to Mo Williams, who takes it in for,
The dude was one of the greatest at this position. Love football, and you could tell. He's just, and I believe a lot of people nowadays understand how misunderstood the guy was when he was playing.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest. If he was only going half speed half the time, imagine how great he would have been if he didn't take plays off.
Well, that's the thing. And that's the one gripe I have with Randy Moss is that whole I play when I want to play attitude that he had. If he would have had the work ethic of a Jerry Rice or a Chris Carter or somebody that, played 100, an Adam Thielen even, that man would have destroyed every receiving record in the record books.
See, I don't even think I would question Randy's work ethic. I think there's a lot of work ethic that went into Randy's career. I think there's a lot that we didn't get to see as fans and people in the press, but I believe Randy put in the work, and I guarantee you he put it in hard. He's naturally gifted.
I know he did, but it's documented. There was, he would take plays off in that, that one game. I forget who it was against. I think might have been Washington, where he walked off the field.
That pissed me off. That was, as a fan, that pissed me off because and you would imagine his teammates too. What message does that send to the team? So yeah, that incident in Washington, when it get talked about as much as it did when it first happened, but that really pissed me off as well. You don't do that.
No, absolutely not.
No.
All right, moving on.
Love you though, Randy.
Oh yeah.
If you're watching.
Straight cash, homie.
Right.
All right, we'll move
Next
on.
I'll shake his dick at him.
Yeah. The moon over Lambeau. We see that every week in our intro. You can't go wrong with the moon over Lambeau.
Love the memories. I'll never forget them as a fan and as a person in my life. I will never forget the memories I got of that guy in purple and gold. So I'll leave it at that. Moving along, number 3.
All right, on to number 3.
33. And this is Peterson. Peterson into the open, midfield, 45, and there he goes. the football. 25. To the 30. Still on his feet. 35 and down to the 30. On first down, back to Adrian Peterson in the ground game. Cuts inside a block. Inside the 40. Up the sideline and he's gone. They've accomplished. Peterson. Still on his feet to the 33-yard line. You look at the numbers and you're going, can they really be true? This is Peterson. Look at Peterson. 30. Down the sideline and just pulled from behind. And the penalty marker is down. Peterson. To the 30.
November 4th, 2007. Another rookie with a huge game. One Adrian Peterson goes off and sets the single game rushing record against the.
He could have done so much more that game too.
Mm-hmm. But it was against the, at that time, San Diego Chargers. Adrian ran 30 times for a still NFL record 296 yards and 3 touchdowns, which included a 46 and a 64-yarder.
That doesn't even count the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game where he didn't even see the field anymore because Childers didn't want him out there anymore, apparently.
Yeah. So I mean, and I think it was, well, he wasn't going to play period until somebody told them how close he was to the record. And then, unlike Mike Zimmer last year with Justin Jefferson for the team receiving record, they did put Adrian back out there to make sure that he got that.
And then once he got it, that was it. It took him off and he was done for the day.
Which made sense because.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's hard.
I would like to see him put up 300, honestly. Give him one more carry, let him get the 3.
Yeah, but if you're giving him one more carry.
Tackle in the backfield too. But that didn't happen very often with AP.
Well, it happened. It did happen. It's fair amount. I mean,
Minnesota, it happened quite a bit because it got to the point where everybody knew where the ball was going and knew it was going to. So
yeah. But anyway, yeah. So
great game, by the way, though.
Oh, absolutely. And interesting side note on that game. That's also the game that Antonio Cromartie ran that missed field goal back 109 yards at the end of the first half. At the last play of the first half, he ran it all the way back for a touchdown. So big performances all the way around in that one.
Another big performance by Peterson that year. I know. We'll just go quickly. Chicago that year, same thing.
Yeah, it was 200 and was it 260?
He got loose, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. On to number 2.
Kramer nailed Rashad in front of Bruce Taylor, and the Vikings were getting close. Tucker first gained 17 yards, and a repeat of the play reveals why the Vikings were so pleased to get him. Tucker is one of the best pass-catching tight ends in football, another facet of Tucker's talent. On the play, Mel Phillips had a clear shot at Tucker, who merely shrugged him off and ambled into the end zone. Kramer hit Sammy White for the touchdown. Their 28-27 comeback victory must rank right up there as one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. Trailing 24-0 late in the third quarter, the Vikings came back to win at a time when, if they had not done it, they faced the very real possibility of not making the playoffs. And the man who had done it was a rookie quarterback named Tommy Kramer, number 9. His 3 fourth-quarter touchdown passes under excruciating pressure were performed in the highest tradition of the Tarkentonese School of Quarterbacking.
December 4th, 1977.
Throwing it back.
The legend of 2-Minute Tommy is born. Still the largest comeback in Vikings history. The Vikings were down to the San Francisco 49ers 24-0 at the end of the third quarter. At the very end of the third, Bob Lee started that game at quarterback, and he had thrown a touchdown at the end of the third to make it 24-7. But then Lee exited the game, and rookie Tommy Kramer came in the fourth quarter, proceeded to throw 188 yards and 3 touchdowns in one quarter.
Put in the work.
Had touchdowns to Ahmad Rashad, Bob Tucker, and Sammy White to cap off the biggest comeback in Vikings history, and where they won 28-27.
Nice.
So that was.
Did he go on to start the next week then?
I don't remember.
Okay.
He very well might have. It was bounced back and forth between multiple quarterbacks at that point in time.
Unfortunately, with Tommy, that's where it was throughout most of his career.
Yeah, I mean, once he took the starting job over, he was good until
Wade came into the picture.
Yeah, and then in that 87 range, 86, 87, Kramer started battling some injuries and stuff. So then we were doing that 2 quarterback thing. Kramer would play for a while, then Wilson would play for a while.
Both were good quarterbacks, though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And I mean, Wade was one of the first I ever remember watching as a a little kid.
So anyway, that's again the legend of 2-Minute Tommy and his tendencies for making late game heroics was basically born on that day. And with that, we're going to roll into number 1. Another quarterback performance here. You said I went back to 1977. I'm going even further back this time.
Nice. I love this one, and I love this guy. I love this man. The epitome of what you want at this position is none other than.
I think I might be talking about a different guy than you on this one.
Oh, really?
Cap hit Osborne again, flaring into the secondary, 18 yards and a touchdown. Joe Cap not only threatened, he delivered, and on the first play of the ensuing drive. This time he sent Gene Washington, number 84, on a fly pattern, and a perfect bomb had been exploded. It was now 14-0. The Colts could ill afford to give Joe Cap any extra downs the way he was passing. And 2 downs later, like clockwork, another spectacular play struck Baltimore. 4th and 1, 40 seconds left. Then the man who today would completely erase the image of another scrambler from Minnesota did it again. Cap went to Kent Kramer all alone, 13 yards and a touchdown. Lean Gene badly beat cornerback Charlie Stukes for a 65-yard touchdown. Cap rolled out and threaded the pass to number 87, John Beasley, who simply out-muscled safety Rick Polk, number 21, for the trophy. With this rollout pass to Jim Lindsay, Joe Cap became only the 4th man to throw 7 touchdown passes in a single pro game. 2 of the quarterbacks who did were named Tittle and Luckman. The other, Adrian Burke, was officiating at this game. Joe Cap had joined them with one of the greatest displays of passing in the history of the NFL.
September 28th, 1969. Baltimore Colts at the Minnesota Vikings. Joe Cap.
No, you were talking about.
You're right. Okay, I thought you were thinking I was going to go with Tarkenton's first game, but which I thought about doing. But
love me some attitude that man brought to that position. I loved it.
Yeah,
he just wanted to win games, man, as a team.
And he's a tough old son of a bitch, and he's still a tough old son of a bitch.
I love that attitude he had.
But in that game, Joe Cap throws for 449 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that still stands to today, doesn't it?
No, he's
a tie, right?
He's tied now because it stood by itself until Peyton Manning did it in 2013. Coincidentally, also against a Baltimore team, this one being the Ravens, but yeah, it was an outstanding performance by Joe Cap.
Beautiful.
2 of those touchdowns.
Rushing touchdown that game too?
No, he didn't. But
he didn't throw a beautiful pass, but he got the ball from point A to point B.
Yeah. Well, a couple of those touchdown passes he threw that game included an 83-yarder and a 42-yarder to Gene Washington. So
wow, Gene Washington, huh?
mm-hmm.
Man, that's throwing it back.
Buddy of our friend Ted Bertrand. But with that, that is the Viking History 101 /
That was good. I like
Rhinos top 5 offensive performances in team history. Again, there are others that could have easily made the list, like I mentioned, Tarkenton's first start and a few others. But
that was a beautiful start as well as coming into the league and just lighting it on fire his first game for sure.
Yeah, but these were the ones I picked. So you may have other ones, but
great list, Rhino. Great list.
Thank you, sir. With that, we're going to roll into another one of our classic beer commercials. So, and in our last live chat, Drew questioned my saying that I have on here, where I say, go to your fridge, crack open a cold one, check this out. We'll be back in a minute. He said, he was asking, how do you go to the fridge and check out the beer commercial at the same time? And I told him, I said, you need to have a beer fridge right by your couch.
It makes sense.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I mean, who doesn't have a beer fridge close to their couch?
I just keep one in my belly. Pull one out whenever I need one.
Just at least have a cooler next to there.
Americans are the only ones that drink beer cold anymore anyways.
Hey, I don't care to drink warm beer unless I have to, but anyway, go to your fridge, grab yourself a cold one, crack it open, check this out, and we'll be back in a minute.
He is the life of parties he has never attended. If he were to punch you in the face, he would have to fight off the strong urge to thank him. Sharks have a week dedicated to him. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
All right, we are back. And once again, we have come to the portion of the show with the segment that we have affectionately been calling Brunswick's Best, where Lance takes a look at the greatest players to wear this week, number 67. So who you got for us this week there, Mr. Brunswick?
I got a list of 2 again this week. Before I even start this list, I would like to credit Christopher Gates on a lot of this research I do for this. He's got a wonderful list out there that you can follow if you want to. It comes in handy, I should say, to say the least. So Chris, if you're watching, thank you. I do know Chris from VR. So thanks, Chris. I just wanted to throw that out there. Credit Chris with a lot of this as well. So anyways, let's get this list rolling.
Keep
and the one and the
rolling.
All right, here we go. So 2 old school players today. Nobody new school. 2 old school. Let's get it going. Starting up the list. Grady Alderman. Man, what a beast at left tackle was he.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's the first one to ever wear the number 67 for the purple and gold, and probably the one who wore it the best. Alderman started his career in Detroit. He played his first season there before coming to Minnesota as one of the original Vikings. He was a huge fixture at left tackle, missing only 6 starts between the years of 61 and 73. He served as a backup in 74 and retired from the NFL after that. Alderman started 179 of 193 games in his Vikings career and was named to the Pro Bowl 6 times, as well as being a first-team All-Pro in 1969. Alderman was named as one of the 50 greatest Vikings of all time and served as the general manager of the Denver Broncos in 1981 and 82 seasons. Grady, you made the list today for one of the best to wear the number 67. Woo! Moving along.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We got Dennis Swilly. A couple of years after Alderman left, the number was picked up by center Dennis Swilly. He was a second-round pick of the Minnesota Vikings in the 1977 draft. Swilly served as a backup to Mick Tingelhoff in his first 2 seasons before taking over the starting role in 1979. He was the primary starter at center for the Vikings through the 1983 season, and in 1984 he took a year off to build a house. He came back and started for the Vikings in '85 and served as a backup for part of the 1986 season before leaving the NFL good shortly after that. Swilly, McNilly, Dennis, you're on the list today for being another great player to wear the number 67.
Swilly was the first guy I remember as a center for the Vikings. So
nice. You two guys made the list. Alderman and Swilly, the best to wear 67. Thank you.
All right. A great list for you as well today, Mr. Brunswick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You'll betcha, sure. All right. With that, that's about all we've got for this week. Again, want to thank everybody for watching, for tuning in every week as you all do. Reminder about our subscription contest. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications. Subscribe in the comment section down below this video saying that I'm subscribed, and it gets you entered into that contest that we will hopefully be giving away here very soon. Again, if you're out on the road, check us out on our audio podcast channels or take us along on YouTube or Facebook. We're all over the place, so you can find us on most of your
social media
favorite social media and podcast platforms. So, but with that, why don't you take us out of here, Lance?
I want to give a shout out this week to one of the rookies coming in this year, Ty Chandler. And I believe his style of running back play might be kind of indicative of what we're going to be playing here this year coming up offensively. I did go back and I watched a lot of Tyson Chandler or Ty Chandler, whatever, videos, or tape. And a lot of his carries came out of the shotgun formation, which to me was intriguing. Is that saying that is kind of what KOC wants in a running back? You know, I look for a lot more carries coming out of the shotgun formation this year. I know we tried it with Peterson. We almost forced it with Peterson at one point.
Adrian was no good at it.
It just was not his forte. It was not his forte. With Delvin,
it wasn't Matt Forte either.
Yeah, right. I that was going through my brain as I was speaking it out. But yeah, I want to throw that out there. I watched some Tyson Chandler last night while I was sitting up in the wee hours of the evening, and I noticed a big chunk of his runs were out of the shotgun formation. So I believe that might be what Kevin O'Connell wants in a back. And I believe Delvin is going to get a lot of shots to get a lot of receptions this year. I've said it before on this podcast. I believe that we should be using Delvin Cook like the 1999 Rams used Marshall Faulk. A lot of runs out of the shotgun, passing to him out of the backfield, getting them in open space. Delvin is set for a great year if he can stay healthy. I'm excited about this whole running back crew. Like I said with Tyson Chandler, I'm excited for Obi Nwangwu Kenobi. It's going to be great. Like I said, more runs out of the shotgun, I believe, are in store for us this year. So, with that being said, stay safe. We had a friend this week go to jail. We don't want that happening, not around here.
That was Facebook jail, though.
No, this I had a friend, Mrs. Not to mention Drew going to Facebook jail, getting himself in trouble, saying naughty things on the social media. For shame on you, Drew.
That's okay. Anthony Tollison goes in there every couple of weeks. He's a repeat offender. So we love you guys and we appreciate you watching.
We had a watcher of the show actually get escorted out into jail. Don't go to jail. We had a person that watched us go to jail this week, and he's a good guy. He made a bad decision, and bad things happened to him. So make smart decisions this weekend. Don't get hauled off to the loony bin or the jail, as you guys that like to do crazy things.
Speaking of crazy things, what the hell is this? I think we better wrap this up because Lance is getting a little jittery over there. So.
Let's get out of here. Let's go.
All right. You guys have a good weekend.
Make
We'll see you next week.
Let's go.